Good morning. It's now about 11 o'clock on a very cold Sunday the 7th of February. I'm Andy and this is my allotment. Not a huge amount to show you today, but I've got some time to be down here for a couple of hours, so I'm going to get on with a few bits and pieces. Quick spin round very quickly. This bed was freshly manured. There's about 4 litres of manure on top of here, and as you can see there's some grass coming through already. Got to get that out today, and this is going to get covered over with black weed fabric just to hold everything back till I'm ready to use it. Not sure what's going to go in here this year. I've got a feeling I'm probably going to put some brassicas into here later on, because this had onions in last year, so it'll be okay. Square foot gardening bed. I keep saying this, but I've got to get in there today and clear all this out. A lot of this is crops from last year. There's loads of beetroot in there still. I've got some small lettuces which are still surviving. I've got some little gem in there, which I'm amazed are still okay. We've not had huge frosts down here, or up here rather, but we have had snow on the ground a couple of times, and really I wouldn't have expected these to survive, but they are. What I'm planning on doing today is clearing out this bed, getting all the old crops out. If the beetroots are still okay, I'll use them. If not, we'll just put them on the compost pile. But there's quite a lot of them. All the red leaves you can see in here are all beetroot. And of course I've got big weeds and everything because I've neglected this side. I'm then going to lift the level of this up because as you can see it's quite down. I've got some manure I'm going to bring over, a couple of barrow loads. I basically just use a hand trowel to turn it over in each square and lift the level up by about 3 or 4 inches. When I've done that, I'm going to plant out some of the onions and garlic I've got in the greenhouse, which I'll show you in a moment, because they're ready to go. They should be out now. They're about 6 inches tall in some cases. The second lot I put in are not quite as big. Some are just breaching the surface, some haven't even started yet, but we'll see. These cabbages look a bit tatty because I've left them open for the chickens to peck on. Whenever I come down, I let the chickens out. They roam all around my plot, and yeah, as you can see we've got one here. And all the rest are down at the bottom there, down by the new bee fence. Actually, that's something I can go and show you. I'm not sure if you remember, but last February we had an arson attack on a beehive that was at the top of the allotment. 6 beehives were covered in accelerant, 1 was set on fire, the rest weren't, thankfully. Ours wasn't touched, it was the other beekeepers on the site whose hives were taken. So what we've got is we've managed to get a grant to put this new fence up, a nice secure fence which is about 7 foot tall with a lock gate, and we have beehives in there. Let's go down this side. These beehives here are mine. Well, technically they're my wife's, but we have them between us. So they're overwintering at the moment. At this time of day and in this sort of weather, there's no bees going to be coming out. They're going to be sat in there overwintering, just waiting for it to get warmer. There's 1 beehive at the back there which belongs to another plot holder, and there are 3 down that end which belongs to another plot holder. The plan is that where that pallet over there is, we're going to get 2 beehives for the association, which can be used as training hives, and we're going to train people in how to become beekeepers. That was part of the conditions we had for the grant for getting this this fence put up. Just to show you what the temperature is at the moment, according to that, I don't know if you can see it through there, that's about 5 degrees. So it's cold. Getting warmer than it was though, getting warmer. I think what I'll do now, I'll have a quick pop into the greenhouse, show you the onions and garlic I'm going to be taking out, then I'll leave it for a little bit and come back and show you how I've got on with moving the manure, topping up the square foot gardening bed, and then putting the onions in and the garlic. Right, as you can see, these are doing wonderfully. These have been in since mid-December, I think it was. The 3 trays at the back are all garlic. Some of it's the stuff I grew last year, other of it's bought in. The trays at the front are red onions, white onions. These are ones which I put in a little while ago and they just started to sprout through. These went in about 3 weeks ago, but we've had such cold weather since, they're just not sprouting. Underneath here, more onions. These onions went in on the 7th of January, and as you can see they're all starting to come up now. I've got quite a decent lift on those. These beans were put in at the same time. They're broad beans. All bar one of those has come up. More onions, more onions, more onions, and more beans. The beans are obviously not big enough yet to go out. They wouldn't survive if I put them out now. So I'm leaving the beans, and I'm leaving these 2 trays of onions alone. But everything else I'm going to try and get out today, because I want the space back, because I want to start being able to sow tomatoes and chillies and other things like that, and some salad crops to grow in here. But I haven't got the space. I've got a big greenhouse. It's an 8x6 greenhouse, and it's full of onions. Anyway, enough of me prattling on for now. I'm going to leave it for now. I'll come back to you in a little bit and show you how I've got on with transplanting all these onions out and the garlic out. I'm using the square foot gardening method, which means I'm going to plant them quite close together. I'm not sure whether I'm going to put 9 or possibly even 16 in a square foot. I think with onions I'll do 9, with the garlic I might do 16. Because the way the square foot gardening works, you can plant these a lot closer together. And as long as you keep on top of the watering with them, they should grow and they should do nicely. I've not done garlic in that method before. I have done onions, and I got some reasonably sized onions, but not big onions. Last year I got the biggest onions I've ever had, so I'm going to try a compare and contrast experiment this year. I'll do some of these in square foot gardening method, I'll do some of them in an open bed, and I'll just see which works out best. At the end of the day, it's all a learning curve. Never done it before, we shall see. Oh, I've got some elephant garlic in there as well. I've got 3 bulbs of elephant garlic, which are starting to come through now, so I'm very pleased with that. I've never grown that before, so I'm quite looking forward to that. Anyway, as I said, I'll stop prattling on now, and I'll get on and do some proper work, and I'll come back to you later on.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's about 2:30, or just before. I've been beaten by the weather. As you can probably see, it's now hailstoning, and not just the weather but the chickens as well. Every time I put the compost down, they decided they would make a dust bath out of it and dug holes, and decided to dig up my garlic as well when I put it in. But well, it's the way it goes. The joys of having chickens. Anyway, just a quick show you what I've done. This top end here has got the manure down and compost on top and turned over, etc. And what I've done here, I planted square foot gardening spacing for 24 garlic. Now they are quite square foot, they're 18 inches by a foot because my bed isn't exactly square in a number of feet. So this is planted 9 to the square foot, so that'll be interesting to see how they do. Those are purple white garlic, so they're bought in this year. And as a contrast, I'll show you what else I've done over here. In this bed, I planted in traditional rows, 8 inches apart, and 8 inches between the rows. In here I've got 4 of the purple whites which were left over, and I've got 11 of my own saved garlic from last year. I've got a lot more garlic than that in there. I've got another tray full, probably another 20 plants, so I'm going to probably fill half this bed with garlic. And then the ones I've got, I've just bought recently, again I might be using those in this bed as well. But as I said, the weather's beating me. I was going to say a couple of celeriac, but I can't be bothered now. It's cold, I'm wet, and I want to go home. So that's enough for today, enough mourning anyway. At least this hail stopped for a second. Chickens are all put away. First lot of garlic in the ground for the year. There and over there, the other side of the chair. So, season has started. Any comments, please leave them. Thank you very much for everyone who's subscribed recently. I've had quite a few new subscribers. I do appreciate you joining and watching, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave, and I do reply to every comment. So I hope you find what I do useful. So thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Welcome back folks. It's now about 12 o'clock, so it's an hour since I was last on, and I've been on my hands and knees weeding all of this bed, bar for the few bits of crops I'm keeping in. There's some lettuce in there, some chard. It's looking okay. The chard's a bit tatty, but chard does get that way anyway. That will come quite nice in the spring. And I've harvested some of the beetroot. Now I've got a fair amount in there. Most of them, as you can see, are fairly small, but I've got the odd humongous one like these, and sod law says the label for those I couldn't read, so I haven't got a clue what variety it was. Looking at the shape of it, I'm guessing it's a Chiogga, the candy stripe one, but I don't know. Anyway, I've now got my barrel load of muck, and I'm going to start putting it into these squares. I'm just turning it over and digging down a little bit, not far. I'm not double digging, anything like that. It's just lightly turning it over and just bulking up the surface to try and get to a stage where I've got some more volume in here, which is all I'm going to do really. I've got a bag of compost I'm then going to put on the top and work that into the very top layer. So I'm going to have soil and manure low down. Then I'm going to have compost and manure on the top, and I can plant into it. I'm going to get my onions and a lot of my garlic into here today. So when I've done that, I'll come back and show you the progress. Bye for now.